I'm 26 years old and I've never been in a relationship before, and I feel like because I've waited so long.
I've never had a boyfriend. I'm 26 years old and we are going to talk about that.
If you're over 20 and you've never had a boyfriend and you feel like guys...
So I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss.
I'm 26 years old and I've never been in a relationship before, and I feel like because I've waited so long, didn't even start dating until later in life. I was like a late bloomer with a lot of things, but I also hate that saying of late bloomer because it's like everyone's on their own timeline, so it really doesn't matter when anything happens in your life for you because everyone has a different story and a different timeline. But I feel like because I waited so long, I'm at a point now where it's like I'm just like naturally picky. At this point now, it's like I truly know that I am so good on my own. Honestly, sometimes I think I'm more fun than I would be in a relationship. Like sometimes I'm worried like a relationship would just bring down my aura. You know what I mean? Like I'm having so much fun now. Doing my thing, having my friendships, doing my goals, having my hobbies. If someone's not gonna add to that and like make me happier, be something that I'm really excited about and really loving, then I'm just kind of like, what's the point? Like maybe later in life I'll settle. Who knows? I don't know, it's just like I have so much fun on my own. Like I'd rather be alone than be with the wrong person or be with someone that doesn't like light me up and makes my life more exciting and happy and is like a hell yes. If it's like a maybe, then it's a no, if that makes sense. Call me crazy, call me unrealistic, but if it's not like this, if it's not like these, I don't need it, nor do I want it. I don't mind being picky and I think it's okay to be picky. I want to be someone's dream person just like they're gonna be my dream person. I want them to be someone that I really admire, would be friends with in real life. Like I want someone to look at me and be like, that's the one. That's the one I want. I do want the fairy tale best friend romance where the banter flows and the romance is there. I want it all. I want a romance love story in a world full of hinge dates and hookup culture, which for me, that's not really my thing. I'm way too much of a lover girl to do anything casually, and that's okay. It's okay to be picky and go at your own pace, and I just wanted to say that. For the other girlies who haven't been in a relationship yet, that's okay. Keep those standards high. Just know your worth, and your love story is gonna come whenever it does. But until then, the true love story is with yourself and the life that you create for yourself.
She calls it picky. 26 years, 0 relationships, and a filter so high no man on earth clears it. In her mind, she's not single. She's just waiting for a man who doesn't exist to save her from a life she's already convinced herself is perfect.
I've never had a boyfriend. I'm 26 years old and we are going to talk about that. I used to get so worked up about the fact that I've never had a boyfriend. That used to be something that kept me up at night. I used to think I was the weirdest person alive for never having been in a serious relationship or ever having labeled someone as my boyfriend. After some serious reflection and therapy, I learned that there is nothing wrong with me. And there's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of if you've never been in a technical relationship. I have had many situationships and even just situations that have taught me so much about dating, guys, myself. I don't think it's important how many boyfriends or girlfriends or relationships someone has been in. Like, I always used to be so scared because I'm like, oh my God, people are gonna think that like I'm an idiot and don't know what I'm doing and like whatever, and they're just not gonna want to be with me because I've never been in a relationship, and they're probably gonna be like, oh my God, like such a red flag, like no one wants to be in a relationship with her. That's my like inner like negativity speaking, and I think that's my insecurity speaking. I used to be like, oh my God, I think that about myself, so everybody must think that. And yeah, maybe some people do think that. Maybe some people do think it's weird that I've never been in a relationship. Maybe they consider it a red flag, but I personally don't. At this point in my life, I am really proud of myself for how I've handled boys and dating throughout my life. Because in high school growing up, yeah, I'll be the first to admit it's not like boys were knocking down my door. I wasn't like, there weren't many guys that were interested in me. Okay, I'll be honest there. But at the same time, I was very focused on myself, school, my friends, and swimming. That was my sport that I did seriously. Those were my priorities. Boys were never a priority to me. I didn't want to focus on that because I had other things I wanted to focus on. So with that, I was able to really develop my strong female friendships, and I carried that with me, kind of the same mindset in college. Like, yeah, I had hookups in college, whatever, but I never dated anybody in college because it just wasn't a priority to me. And even for like 2 years post-grad, it was not a priority to me. And in the past 2 years, I've kind of made it a little bit more of a thing, and I've learned a lot, and I've had my bouts of being into it, being not into it, whatever. But every day goes by and I'm like prouder, and not prouder, but I'm less embarrassed of the fact that I've never had a boyfriend. Like, it is what it is. It's my life story. And I think it kind of makes me unique in a way. And it's all a part of shaping who I am, honestly, because this is a part of who I am. And it's really forced me to work on my self-esteem and self-confidence from within because I've never gotten it from a boyfriend. So it did make things a little trickier in my, low self-confidence days. But Now it's just another fact about me. So if you've never had a boyfriend, do not think negatively about yourself, because just know that it is just one little piece of your story and no one actually cares. And if they do, they can fuck off.
26 years old, therapy sessions deep, still explaining to strangers on the internet why no man ever chose her. She calls it self-esteem. Everyone else can see it for what it really is, a resume of reasons why it never worked.
So my husband told me that he's just really on a search for peace right now. And, he just feels like being away from me and the family is what's helping him to stay at peace. And he just cannot be around me. Now, if this is something that your spouse has said, I need you to understand, number one, that what they are feeling, what they are seeking is a counterfeit peace. And number two, they are not trying to find peace. They are actually running from shame. Because of course you feel at peace when you're running from the very thing that's going to hold you accountable. When you feel shame and guilt, it's very heavy, and you don't want to be around the very thing that makes you feel those things. And this is not to justify what they're doing, because it's not okay. But I need you to understand that if we know God is the God of peace, and we know that it's only through God that we obtain everlasting peace, if we know the Bible says that the wicked does not have any peace, and I'm not saying that your spouse is wicked, if we know those things to be true, how is it that you can come into agreement with the idea that your spouse being away from you, being away from the covenant that God has given him, is actually giving them peace? You have to ask yourself, what holds more weight, the word of God or the word of my husband, who has fallen short, who is separate from Christ, who is walking in his flesh and not being led by the Spirit? There's nobody on earth, there is no man or woman on earth that is more powerful than God, whose words hold more power and weight than God. Once you have the understanding that it is God who approves you and not your spouse, you will be able to see straight through what your spouse is saying. You will be able to put down your carnal understanding and your carnal mind and pick up things in the Spirit. You'll be able to see the truth of what's going on, which is seeing things through the perspective of God. So if you are struggling with pulling your identity out of your spouse, where everything they do, everything they say defines who you are, and you allow it to define who you are, DM me the word ready, and I'll send you a link to hop on a one-on-one call with me so I can give you practical ways on how to strengthen your identity in Christ.
He calls it peace. She calls it scripture. What it actually is, a man who left and a woman selling salvation to avoid saying so. She's built an entire ministry around one marriage falling apart and calling it faith instead of denial.
I've been getting this a lot, and I just don't think it's true. I think that creepy is such a loaded word, and so many people have different ideas of what it means to be creepy when approaching a person. And here's my perspective on it. If a guy that I was not attracted to came up to me, but was kind and respectful, put himself out there and asked me out, I wouldn't think that the act in it of itself is creepy. I just wouldn't be interested. I'd be straight up with him, but I would also be very kind of you to come up to me. Thanks for doing that. I'm just not interested. Creepy is when someone looks at you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, makes comments about you that makes you feel uncomfortable, is physical with you in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable. It has nothing to do if I find that person to be objectively attractive. It has to do with the way that they engage with me. And it gets me so heated seeing all these comments with guys being well, I'm not attractive, and so therefore I'm going to be perceived as creepy. And it's that's just not true. It's just not true. Men need to learn how to do a better job of going up to a woman with confidence and making her feel safe in the act of approaching her. And I also think that it's on women to not make a guy feel bad if he comes up and approaches her, but she's just not interested.
She says looks have nothing to do with it. Comment sections full of rejected men say otherwise. Creepy isn't a definition anymore. It's just the word she reaches for when the answer is no.
I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need a man. Until I have car problems. And then I'm immediately humbled. Boyfriend, dad, random man on the street, somebody please help me, I'm just a girl.
Independent until the car won't start. Then suddenly she remembers exactly what men are for. I don't need a man lasts right up until she needs one.
Why not me? Why don't you love me? Why am I not the loved one? Why am I not the one who is loved by people? And it brought this feeling up of, hey, Bailey, you've only ever been loved when you were great. You were only showed a fuck ton of love when you did really, really good at ballet, or when you got straight A's on your report card, or when you won some award in school. That's when your parents showed you love, was when you were great, when you had an outward accomplishment that made not only you look good, but made them look good. And that was the only time I was loved, was when I was being great. Obviously, I'm in a really good situation right now where, my friends love me for me.
She spent a lifetime performing greatness for love and calls it healing. But she's still performing, just for a bigger audience now. Trade the report card for a camera, the parents for strangers online. Same little girl, still asking to be enough.
I can finally admit I'm just a relationship type of girl. I'm a lover girl. I like being in relationships. And sometimes people try to make you feel bad about being in a relationship all the fucking time. Oh, you don't know how to be by yourself. You need to take time to learn yourself. You need to do this. You need to do that. Some people, like myself, I like being in relationships. And it's not like I'm in a new relationship every fucking year. I be in relationships for years. I love love. I think that the end goal for life is to find your partner, create your family with them, and go about your life. Bro, I am done trying to do the whole, I need time to myself. I need this. No, the fuck you don't. Go get in a relationship. You want to get in a relationship. Eventually, that's the goal for everybody. Everybody, regardless of how you feel about it, you want love. You want to find love. You want to find the love of your life. You want to start a family. You want to do these things. These are things you want to do. So stop letting people make you feel bad for always being in a relationship. Oh, you always with your girl. You always doing this. You always want to do that. I never seen you single. Okay? Because I don't like to be single. The fuck? Y'all gonna be single. I don't want to be single. Fuck, that's just how that go.
She's never been single long enough to find out who she is without someone else's name attached to hers. She calls it love. What it looks like is a woman terrified of an empty room.
If you're over 20 and you've never had a boyfriend and you feel like guys just aren't interested in you, I feel like it has more to do with ourselves rather than the guys, because sometimes people are interested in you and you just can't tell. And this has a lot to do with self-confidence and being sure of yourself, and also being able to read signals. You have to think of it like this. If people are around you and they're more introverted, yet they still are looking to be in your vicinity, they're looking to be around you, they're starting conversations with you, all of that has to do with the fact that they are interested in you. So if someone tries to start a conversation, if someone wants to be around you, they are interested 100%, especially when it's coming from a guy. And guys, usually they will approach you if they have some kind of interest, and then sometimes it develops into a friendship, but still they want to be around people that they are interested in, just like you. And if you find that they don't approach you, and if you find that you're not getting any signals whatsoever, then I feel like this has a lot more to do with presenting yourself as being approachable. Because sometimes, and I talk about this, like pretty girl syndrome and all these kinds of things that I've made videos on, it's like people think that you've got it all anyways. They think, oh, she's too pretty, or she's too this and that, and she looks unapproachable, she looks arrogant. And sometimes, because of the fact that we got so used to being alone, and we got so used to the fact that nobody approaches us, that we're kind of on guard. So basically we're trying to protect ourselves from any sort of outside input, because we're just so good at being alone that we give off that vibe of like, don't approach me because I'm gonna push you away. Sometimes people can feel that. It's an energy thing. So what I would suggest, if you are interested in attracting people into your life, just smile. Honestly, that's the only thing that I would change, is just smiling and giving that open and interested energy, and then that's going to be reciprocated.
20 plus years single, and the answer she lands on is just smile more. Not a lack of interest, just a masterclass in convincing herself the problem was never her.
I've been single my entire life. I'm going to be turning 42 in August, and I've never had anybody love me or desire me or want to be with me. And I have so much love that I feel like that is inside of me with nowhere to go, because it can't transfer to friends
or my family or my parents because it's something separate, it's something different. And I've gathered all of this love since I was in high school, and then it just sits there and it eats me alive sometimes. And I'm bringing this up, oh my gosh, I just slammed my hand off of that. Sorry, I'm bringing this up because I'm lonely and sad and the world is hard and horrible. And I was thinking this morning that like no one's laid next to me in bed. I've never had the comfort of someone's arms around me. When I've had difficult moments, I've gotten through them by myself most of the time. Now I have a beautiful family of brothers and my mother and my dad when he was alive, and I love them. I'm grateful for them. But there's something different about having somebody that's there for you, next to you, with you, and it's a different kind of loneliness if you've been single all of your life. And I know that there are people who get this. There are people who follow me that get this. But I was thinking about it in terms of just bigger worldly issues as well. The fear of the world and the difficulties that we are seeing. And again, this is minuscule on the level of what some people are facing. But it doesn't mean that it's nothing. And I have to figure out how to deal with these feelings. But the idea that like I don't go home and somebody's there to talk with and cook dinner with, and I have a roommate, but we do our own things. We have our own lives. And again, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I'm always told sometimes as a single person that it's not easier on the other side. And so I guess I just wanted to say to people who get this feeling that you're not alone. And I know that it's difficult, but I also know that there's a certain type of strength that has been developed that I have because of my experiences in my life that has led me to be able to do difficult things. And it's difficult being alone. And it's okay to feel lonely. And it's okay for it to feel hard and scary. So just know that you're not alone, and know that I see you and I'm there with you. And I'm still seeking to find ways to make it easier for myself. And I really, really do wish to make it easier for others. So if you're lonely, know that I'm sorry, and know that I'm sitting in the lonely with you. I hope you have a good day, everybody.
42 years old, and the loneliest part isn't the empty bed. It's a lifetime of love with nowhere to put it. She's not asking for pity. She's naming a kind of pain most people pretend doesn't exist until it's theirs. No punchline here, just a woman who's been strong for so long. Being honest is the bravest thing she's done on camera.
So I've been seeing some videos on my For You page, and I think that it is finally time to discuss the female loneliness epidemic. Because I know the men have had their own thing, and I'm not here to talk about that. I'm not a man, right? But I will say that the men are more built for it than us. We are not built for this shit, ladies. We don't know how to be alone. These men have been bottling up their emotions and not sharing them with anybody since they were 6, 7, 8 years old. Some of us have never done that. We've always had someone to talk to, a friend, a family member, a significant other, something. And it seems like in 2025, the girls are running out of options because the dating market is terrible. Y'all are literally making fun of girls that are in happy, healthy relationships, saying that having a boyfriend is embarrassing. Miserables. And then y'all also don't have any friends, because anytime somebody reposts something that you disagree with, oh, that's how you feel about immigration policy, you're not my friend anymore. Now y'all don't have any freaking friends. Like it's not gonna end well if your requirement for somebody to have a relationship with you is that they have to be on the exact same page with you 100% of the time. No one is. We are all people with our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and ideas. And if you don't respect that in another person, then of course you're going to be by yourself. There's no one else that's going to fit that mold. Y'all have to learn healthy communication skills. You have to learn healthy relationship skills. Go to therapy if you need to, do something. But if you are sitting at home right now and you don't have 5 friends that you can call, no man, and your family members just don't get you, I promise the only common denominator in all of those scenarios is...
She says women aren't built for loneliness, then spends 2 minutes proving exactly why they're ending up there anyway. Cut every friend over a repost, every man over a red flag that wasn't one. And call the empty room the epidemic instead of the math.
I am absolutely convinced that men don't actually want relationships. Like, men want their lives as is. They want to go about their day exactly as it is, do whatever they would normally do, and just want somebody there when it's convenient for them, or, you know, for the things they want to do. Like, convince me I'm wrong.
She's convinced men just want a woman on standby, never once asks why the same men keep standing by for someone else. Call it convenience if it helps. It's easier than calling it what she actually was to him. Optional.
You men do realize that women are choosing to stay single. They're choosing to be single than actually being single. I have a lot of men on my TikTok comment and they're like, oh, where's your ring? Oh, where's your boyfriend? Oh, where's your husband? Y'all, I choose not to have one. It's not because men don't try to talk to me. It's not because men aren't in my DMs. It's not because men don't want to take me out. It's not because men don't want to marry me. I'm choosing. I'm choosing to be single, and I'm choosing not to have a man because it's embarrassing. Literally having a man right now is quite literally possibly the most embarrassing thing you could do right now. Like, it's kind of like an extracurricular activity or like a hobby you don't really want. It's like, why? Why? And I think it's so funny how men are so quick to hop on this app like, well, you're not married. Why would I want to get married to someone who's going to cheat on me? Every single person that I know that is married, about to get married, or in a relationship is either getting cheated on or literally miserable, and misery loves company and they just stay together. Does not sound fun. Literally, you're not selling me on the product at all. I choose to stay single because my expectations are not going nowhere, okay? My expectations are honestly still in the fucking gutter, to be honest, but I have self-worth and self-respect, so therefore I'm going to stay single, because why would I just get a boyfriend because everyone's telling me to get a boyfriend and then have them treat me like shit and cheat on me? I'd rather just be single and do my own thing. But I just think it's hilarious how men like come on here and they're like, oh, well, you don't have a man. Yeah, I don't want one. I don't want you. I don't want one. Having a man is like having a child. I don't want to take care of anything. I don't want to take care of you. I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to listen to you just run your mouth about how you're going to do all these things for me and then don't. I'm single because I want to be. Not because men don't try to hit on me. And I want to make that very, very clear.
She says it's a choice. It's a lot of words for someone who was never actually asked. Every man's a cheater. Every marriage a cage. Funny how the common thread in all those failed relationships is a story she's telling alone.
Yes, men are happy being single. They are. They're definitely enjoying it more than they used to before. And because I see it, you know, it's gotten harder to date, you know, lately. Men are very satisfied in their lives without women. They are. They're working a lot, either working a lot, or if they're not working, then, they'll hang out with their friends, with their family, with their kids. Well, with their kids, it's a given. But yeah, they're happy being, if they're not married, they're happy being, bachelors and having their own space and not having to commit to anyone. So yeah, this wasn't the case before, but this is what it is now.
Men are happy by being by themselves these days. There's no drama or chaos in their lives, nor endless expectations. Just peace, purpose, and freedom. They focus on themselves, rather than pleasing someone who rarely appreciates their efforts.
She admits it herself. Men found peace the moment women left the equation. No drama, no chaos, no endless expectations. Just a life that got better. The second commitment wasn't required.
I think why all of this men not approaching women content is popping off is because deep down, we're literally collectively all so lonely. And I know a lot of you on this app won't want to admit it, but it is very isolating to be just I'm done dating. I'm done with approaching people. It is not normal to not crave connection because humans are wired for connection. And I think there's so many reasons as to why we're all struggling to approach and to be approached and to create authentic, genuine relationships in the real world. Technology, COVID, XYZ, you name it. But like, I went to a talk last night hosted by my friend about the loneliness economy that we're living in. And it just baffled me. Literally every single person is struggling with loneliness, especially in my generation. And I think a small tip and practice you can implement to feel a little less lonely and a little less alone is to just call up the people that you love and care about and just tell them that you love them. Like, it takes practice to stay connected with people. It's like an individual sport. You have to sign up, you have to show up to maintain your adult friendships. But like, investing in showing up for people, I think, is so important and will help us feel less lonely.
She calls it a loneliness economy. Really, it's just a generation that swiped its way out of ever having to approach anyone. The fix she lands on is call someone and say you love them. A small ask for people who forgot how to sit in a room with each other.
I'm a strong, independent woman that doesn't need no man, okay? I just want one, you know, because they're kind of cute and they smell good sometimes and they pick up heavy things, you know, like me.
Doesn't need one, she says. Just wants one for literally every reason a man exists. Strong and independent lasted about as long as it took to list what she actually wants him for.